Welcome back to Huddle Up. Before we move on to the rest of free agency and giving out some grades and letter grades for some of the best signings, some of the most interesting ones, we want to talk about one team that doesn't have a quarterback, or at least they don't have a quarterback that they can feel confident about going into the future. That's the Denver Broncos. So I ask you this question because we need to spend some time on it. The draft is coming up. Everyone has looked at them as a trade-up candidate. They didn't do anything this offseason to change their quarterback room, aside from paying Russell Wilson to play for the Pittsburgh Steelers. They've got Jarrett Stidham still, Ben DiNucci, and that's it. And this is one of those franchises that has always had great quarterback play. They've got owners that are willing to spend. They've got a head coach that they're paying a lot of money. And they have no future quarterback as of this moment. So where do they go from here? What do they do? What do you think their plan is? If you even have an idea of what it could be?
We just talked about the Pittsburgh Steelers and Justin Fields and Russell Wilson, and I used the word intriguing. And that's intriguing, and there's this excitement on how that plays out. And with the Denver Broncos, their quarterback room, I won't use the word intriguing because I'm almost scared to watch this play out. And you're sitting now in March, and a lot of dominoes have fallen in free agency, and you have two quarterbacks on your roster with a combined starts of less than 10 games, less than 5 games in the NFL. There's no experience in this quarterback room. And what's fascinating is this is also not a team that is poised to make a big splash and trade up. They've used so many resources in acquiring Russell Wilson. That didn't work out. But then you also have a coach in Sean Payton that when you brought him in, it was kind of like, we are ready to win now. This is a coach that they're paying a lot of money to. He doesn't feel like a guy who is going to sit in a franchise that is looking to rebuild. I honestly don't have an answer on who their quarterback's going to be next year. Do they just sit in their draft position and take a swing on a Bo Nix or a Michael Penix and have him maybe compete with Jarrett Stidham for the starting job? And if it doesn't work out, they're back picking high next year. I don't know. It doesn't feel like a very Sean Payton thing to do, but also it is tough to find a quarterback, and there's not a lot of good options out there for them. You're also in a division with Patrick Mahomes and Justin Herbert, so quarterback feels pretty important, especially in the AFC West. I don't know. You know these Broncos very well. Who's going to start week 1 for them next season?
Pull a name out of a hat. I don't know, man. I thought I knew them well, but I also look at their free agency, and it's like they haven't done anything, but they also restructured a bunch of contracts that they signed last year because they were in kind of win-now mode last year and handed out the most money of any team in free agency. Those contracts are restructured to open up cap space for this year because Russell Wilson had so much dead money going into this year, and they have cap space, but they haven't used it, so I'm just like, what is the plan? What is going on? You haven't signed anybody, but you still want to win now, but you don't have a quarterback, but you don't have the assets to move up. You just gave everything away for Russ, so do you want to just do that again for the third best quarterback in this draft? Like, I don't understand the vision. I don't know where they go from here. It's obviously why I'm not getting paid to do any of this. But nothing would shock me at this point because they've done it all in the past 2 calendar years where they've tried so many different things and it's blown up in their faces disastrously. I trust Sean Payton, and he got them back to a place where it felt like the winning culture was coming back and the competitive culture was coming back, and they didn't have that with Nathaniel Hackett, obviously. But at the same time, there's going to be a time where you need your quarterback and you need a guy, and they just don't have the resources to go get one. I don't know what the plan is. I'm disappointed.
Your reaction says it all there. The Denver Broncos receive probably an F-.
I'd go
in terms
lower.
of free agency grades.
I'd go lower.
Well, we're going to give out some other free agency grades later in the show, coming right up.